Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and Iron here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to be talking about Polygon and Immutable collaboration
and L2
Wars
or L2 Madness.
Yeah.
So we predicted this is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is the year of the layer 2, I guess, ecosystem emerging. So this is the prelude to the next probably manic altcoin mania.
Yeah. So we spent some time at ETH Denver. Main takeaway. L2 Wars commenced.
Yes, there's so many different competing forces. I mean, I'm sure amongst themselves they wouldn't say, no, we're not competing. But truly it is a competition, a race of sorts, just to see who is going to establish market dominance as a layer 2 provisioner. So we got Arbitrum, obviously having the lead at the moment. They just announced their ginormous airdrop. Everybody's speculating it's probably going to be the biggest one of all time.
Everybody's getting 60 grand apparently.
Yeah, everyone's getting houses just dropped to them.
Yeah.
Fucking Mercedes and stuff. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild stuff what's happening. So we got Arbitrum. They kind of took the lead because they ran out the gate first before anybody else.
Yep.
So they're kind of, have a first mover advantage at the moment.
Coinbase is on that bandwagon.
Well, with Optimism.
Yeah.
Optimism's out there too, creating their own super chain. We've talked about that. Polygon has always been in the race. I mean, Polygon was the actual first mover in the whole L2 space, but not with anything ZK or...
Well, they kind of were. I mean, they said that they were working on it like 2 years ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
They said, but what I mean by is like actual deployed.
Yeah, correct.
Which is, on March 27th, I guess is what, their beta or...
So March 27th, zkEVM beta launch.
Okay, so here we go. This is basically, Polygon is officially in the in the rollup era, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, so just another scaling technology, and I think Vitalik is a proponent of zkEVMs.
Correct.
Over optimistic rollups.
Correct.
Yeah, so we got apparently a special guest, Vitalik, is showing up. But what we're talking about today is the announcement between Polygon and ImmutableX. So Polygon Labs and ImmutableX, the leading Web3 gaming platform, join forces to introduce Immutable zkEVM powered by Polygon. So this is pretty big. We got ImmutableX, which is focused on gaming. Polygon's focused on just layer 2 technologies.
Yeah. And
they're joining forces to kind of focus the layer 2 updated technology for the gaming sector.
Correct. Yeah. Immutable's origins kind of come out from, they were one of the first ones. They weren't immutable. They were called Gods Unchained at first. It was like a card game, very reminiscent to Hearthstone.
I remember those days. It was either Gods Unchained or Axie Infinity. Those two NFT games were like the talk of the town.
Correct. Yeah, those were probably like the biggest players in like the 2017, 2018 era.
Yeah.
Attempting to build some sort of like game-like experience with on-chain integration, right?
And that was after
Ethereum.
After NFT Gaming 1.0, which was CryptoKitties. Which
correct.
You don't call that a game, but it's something kind of like it, I guess.
Game-like, I guess, elements to it. Yeah, but these Gods Unchained wasn't like a legitimate mirror copy, I would say, to like a Hearthstone. Like it seemed like a legitimate, viable competitor, but once people started accruing those assets, the cards themselves as NFTs, they quickly realized like this is not scalable. This is not a favorable environment for any gamer.
It was on the Ethereum network.
Exactly.
Right? We saw $700 gas fees at one point.
Yeah, because of a lot of things, a lot of different factors. Just NFTs in general, I guess.
Yeah.
And DeFi and everything. So that's what got the whole layer 2 thing like really cooking up.
Yeah.
Right? So they went on to build ImmutableX.
Yeah, to alleviate some of that stress on the network. Yeah. Because you can't build games on Ethereum, right? People have tried, and it just became too expensive. So now here we are, Polygon and Immutable. Let's see if we can find some details here. So they're enabling faster and easier and more secure for game studios. And partnership simplifies the decision-making process for devs, which is huge, right? The less decisions devs need to make, the faster you get them onboarded and get them building.
So what are the big decisions you think devs are encumbered by whenever they're trying to?
Well, I think crypto blockchain technology adds to the complexity of decision making only because you have to pick a silo, right? Yeah. It's like, which silo am I going to pick? Is it going to be Binance or is it going to be Ethereum, right? And, and then your decision is based on how many users are on the network.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Liquidity And of course, like I guess user experience with the network itself and all these things. So it's
longevity. Who's going to last longer, right? Ethereum versus Binance. If you had to pick one, which one are you going to pick?
Correct. Security, I guess overall for like the end user, if there's ever a breach, like are my players going to get exposed to all this?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, company ending considerations,
for
right?
sure.
You can't have that.
and then as a dev, you have a responsibility of creating a game that people want to play, which is very difficult than just like picking a network.
Yeah, basically that should be like the front and center.
Yes, concern for a dev,
for a game dev. Like that is the world they come from. They don't come from a world of like having to deal with all this Web3 component stuff. But slowly, more game devs are I guess subscribing to the idea of NFTs being part of their game economies and such.
Yeah.
So I guess companies like Immutable, and I think Engine was around. Mm-hmm. Even before, so with the same premise, right, to kind of like ease the onboarding experiences for developers and to bring NFTs to the masses. So it's expanding. But so why Polygon, dude? I thought ImmutableX was working on their own layer 2 solution.
Yeah, so if you allow me here, if we go to the website, they have in their products, they have two options here for rollups. One happens to be called the Immutable zkEVM, which is brand new, the announcement today, and then they were working on their own ZK rollup.
Well, I think it was deployed and usable, but there was a couple trade-offs, I think, between what they provided and now what they intend to provide with the Polygon's technology stack, right? So
the main differences is ImmutableX ZK rollup doesn't support smart contracts.
Okay.
And the one from Polygon Studios does support smart contracts.
That sounds like a pretty big deal. So if you're a developer, now you have like the customability and flexibility that smart contracts offer, right? You're not just pigeonholed to a singular, I don't know, like token model or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. And really this is just a big showcase on Polygon's behalf. Like, this is a pretty big, almost feels like an acquisition of some kind. It's not really. It's not like an acquisition. Immutable is still its own entity. They have their own token.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're building their own ecosystem independent of Polygon, but now they're leveraging what Polygon has been working on for the last several years.
Yeah, and it would probably take significant resources on ImmutableX's part to come up with the same type of technology that Polygon is just completely focused on.
Correct. And Polygon has a tremendous network effect that it seems almost like they're a futile effort,
Yeah, they have a gravitational pull already. Their gravity is growing. They got Nike. They got all these like partnerships.
Yeah, it's pretty much an proven like trusted, reliable purveyor for some sort of security second layer component to Ethereum, right? They have that trust at the moment.
Yeah, Polygon definitely won the layer 2 race for Ethereum.
Don't go that far yet.
I mean,
I don't know about one.
They're leading the pack, I think.
They're winning for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's others out there. ZKSync's rolling out.
Yeah.
Again, Optimism. They got Coinbase. That's a pretty big W.
It is.
Polygon didn't get Coinbase.
But they got Meta. They got...
True.
They're...
Well, actually, didn't they pull out?
They did. They did.
Oh, no,
but they landed them, though. That's the point.
Yeah. But my point is, this war isn't, over.
Yeah, it's not over.
You can't, declare winners yet.
Yeah, but in a race, in a horse race, someone's leading the pack, right?
You're right.
It's always, trading,
Agreed. So, yeah, that's why if you're ImmutableX, what do? You dedicate all these resources to try and, be that winning horse?
Yeah.
Or do you, hop on that horse while it's already in the lead?
Yeah.
And then drag all your chariot of Web3 games along behind the horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a smart partnership on ImmutableX's behalf. Focus on what it is you guys provide as far as Web3 game development tools.
Right.
Again, to focus on developing game developers and again, leveraging what already exists tech-wise to, append the security of Ethereum to their asset economy,
Yeah, so ImmutableX has several games, and one of which we met at ETH Denver called...
Check it out. I saw New Ganymede for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Maddie, DCO blogger.
Yeah, here we are. New Ganymede.
Yeah. We've watched this project develop from the very beginning.
Yeah, this is its own metaverse, and they're going to be building on ImmutableX.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So this is by MATIC. Shout out Matty. And another one that we met at ETH Denver was called the WAGMI Games. Let's see if I can find it here. I think it's towards the bottom. Here it is. WAGMI Games. So this is like a mobile game, and it's pretty cool. So a lot of companies building on ImmutableX, a lot of games, and now they're going to be building on the cutting edge technology of ZK rollups.
Correct.
All right,
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So again, big W for Polygon. I think right now the market is like a little indifferent as far as like the price action following this announcement.
Let's check that out. So let's go to IMX.
So this is largely due to the nature of, I guess, people's expectation as far as, because this announcement was being hyped up over the last, I don't know, maybe a week or so.
Yeah, about a week, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, people, especially in the Web3 gaming sector, are very...
fickle.
I don't know about fickle. They're just very passionate.
Oh, yeah.
Very like they're expecting if you're a Web3 part of that space, you're hyping an announcement. They're expecting like, all right, Activision's confirmed, or this is actually across the whole Web3 space. This has always been the case. If you're ever gonna hype an announcement,
it's like World of Warcraft on Immutable,
or like Google or die. Either Google or Apple partnership, or you guys suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just a testament to how dangerous sometimes marketing can be. But these are usually like short-term little nuggets.
Yeah,
like
and
nothing.
On top of it, like the whole sector is kind of going down, except for Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin doesn't care.
Correct.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that's just the market responding and reacting in real time to, again, like they were expecting more, but from the long-term perspective, this is going to be a huge enhancement to the ImmutableX ecosystem, and I'm pretty sure all the games developing on top of that platform are very satisfied with this announcement, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're kind of like accelerating. You just take like a big giant step forward as far as like,
Yeah, only because you reduce the choices that developers have to make, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. I think
it is a big deal.
Choices right now it seems like it would be a good idea on paper, but choices is actually bad. When you have too many choices, you have like trigger shyness, and you just don't end up not choosing one and just kind of forgetting about it. And
and when it comes to the layer 2 like option pool, that's a difficult one because there's so many entrants spawning up.
Yeah, and on top of that,
making these choices even more difficult, right?
If you're a developer, you have to figure out, well, why ZK rollups? Why not optimistic rollups? Then you got to figure out what's the difference between the two technologies, and then once you figure out the differences, then you got to see which one's easier to build with, right? Which one has the documentation, all the stuff that you need to build out your game, and then you pick your silo, and then hopefully ends up like sticking around.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's the complexity is there for the developers, but with this choice that ImmutableX made, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Developers are happier.
So we should see some picking up of as far as like activity from the Polygon front with ImmutableX, and I'm assuming this is just probably like the beginning of Polygon's like announcement train that's coming up, leading up to the actually rollout of their mainnet. Because this is typically how things go. And Polygon historically is like very good at marketing.
Oh yeah,
they really are. They kind of like actually changed the game for the entire industry. Like whenever they were coming up.
Yeah, that's part of our fundamental analysis is how these projects do their marketing.
Yeah, so Polygon did it right, or whenever they were called MATIC, way back in the day.
Yeah,
and once they are really ingrained into this layer 2 roll-up war that is kind of like beginning. Yeah, expect Polygon to come out pretty aggressively on the marketing front. So you're going to hear a lot from them. We're probably going to be making a lot of videos about these announcements.
Yes.
I mean, we ourselves are builders on Polygon, so,
Yeah.
Hooray. Let's go Polygon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so eventually we're going to be using ZK rollups, right, through Polygon.
Yeah, like you said, it's good not having to, like, choose.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's nice and comfortable knowing like Polygon's doing all the hardcore legwork. It would like our ecosystem only gets better over time.
That's right. It's just easier to use, faster to onboard, cheaper, all the good stuff.
Correct.
Let's see. So yeah, here's a tweet storm by ImmutableX. They have their own trailer here showing us a lot of the games that they have, and they got charts funded projects by ecosystem. Everything goes up to the right, dude. Ethereum.
Everything ETH.
Yeah.
All roads lead to ETH, dude.
Yep. So Immutable, leading Web3 game development platform, and Polygon, leading protocol for Web3 gaming, have formed a strategic partnership. So it looks like here they have the biggest token utility upgrade in history is coming. So a lot of technical work working on the back end stuff. So they're going to be announcing new things in the next, from here it says an hour, but 30 days or so, 60 days. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I think this is very positive for ImmutableX, obviously huge for Polygon. They just keep scooping up projects.
Correct. And I guess we're going to wait and see. Because we talked to a lot of these game devs on the ImmutableX side, and seems to be the prevalent sentiment is definitely like keeping all these Web3 blockchain components as far away from the front-end consumer as possible.
Yeah.
ImmutableX seems to be like that developer community seems to be like leading that initiative, that charge, or like that philosophy in their like development approach.
Yeah. So
we're going to have to just wait and see if it works out that way. Like we're seeing some good-looking games coming out of that ecosystem. Like,
absolutely.
Totally games I would hop in and, hop on them sticks, dude, all day, every day. But we'll see if they do a good enough job. Kind of like how Reddit did with their NFT avatar thing.
That's right, yeah.
They did a great job of hiding all the back-end Web3 stuff from the Reddit user.
Basically, if you're a new user in blockchain, you just download the Reddit app, you go to the vault, it
Pretty
generates an ETH address, you don't know it.
Yeah, they don't show it to you.
Yeah, it's just like, it gives you a cool animation that's generating, and all of a sudden you have your NFT.
Yeah, it's very familiar, like, Web2 gaming process.
Yeah,
right. Like you just bought a skin and now it's now part of your portfolio or profile.
Yeah, and if you were the user that's interested and is like, can I sell this image? It's like, well, yes, you can.
Yeah, you have to find out after the fact, after you bought these things, that you own them on chain, and that these things are secondary, like market valuable.
Yeah, that's right.
And you could eventually maybe even make a profit from that. So I think that ethos is spilling into the Web3 gaming space, and like from what we've seen from people developing on Immutable, that's seems to be the mission.
Yeah,
right?
And that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
There's no need for anybody to know about HTTPS and all that when using the internet, right? So you don't need to know any of this like Ethereum ETH address and public private key stuff.
Yeah, so
until you need to.
Correct. So Web3 gaming is going to be another thing to look out for this year, just like, Layer 2.
Yeah.
Just like the metaverse, just like DeFi 2.0, identity stuff. So much stuff to keep our eyes on.
I'm curious what's going to happen with Layer 0 stuff, dude.
Oh, well, let's find out, dude.
Yeah.
That's our job.
I guess, we're going to be finding out. All right, guys. Well, that's ImmutableX and Polygon's partnership here. And let us know if you have any questions. Are you playing any ImmutableX games? Let us know in the comment section below. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at Meadows on IO, and at Rovi AI. And we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.